And if you're watching a replay, I will have the link below if I can get that to work, or you can email me for the link. This is the image that we are painting from. I was in France recently, and I've been painting more of France to fill up my sketchbook because I don't always finish my sketchbook. When I'm there, I like to come back and finish off some things. I can't see the table. It's coming, it's right there. And I'm going to take you to my screen where you can see everything. Make sure that you are on speaker view. And then you'll see me and the image of where I'll be painting. So I'm just going to take you down to that. So let's remove my spotlight. There we go. So with your sign in, this link was provided for the PDF. I also included the link in the chat on the right. Let's see, I've got the image will be right here. Let me pull this up just a little bit. So I've done, okay, if to just see me, you need to go up to view and click on speaker instead of seeing everybody. This is my image. I'm going to pull this up a little bit higher. There we go. You know, I do these all the time. And this, you know, it's not like I have a whole production team. It's me. And I've got Heather in the background. Okay, everybody can hear. So turn up your sound if you can't hear me. And hopefully we can get started. So I am using my sketchbook for this demo. It's an Etcher sketchbook, and they're coming out with a new one soon. Another sketchbook I've been using lately, and this is a similar idea, what we're doing today, is the Cheap Joe's American Journey sketchbook. And it has a spiral bound. And there you see, well, maybe the logo. Anyway, it's from Cheap Joe's. And I have bazillions of sketchbooks, but today's about France. I thought I'd give you a quick little view of some of the pages in there. I'm very fortunate in that I get to take people trips to different places around the world to paint. And these are just some of the locations. Now I add the lettering usually when I get home. And some of these are quick sketch where I use a pen. And in fact, these are all quick sketch. And then sometimes I don't use a pen. This is where we stayed. And there you see some quick sketch. So there's no end to what you can do in your sketchbook. And what I love about it is it's just my experience, and it's a shared experience. And it's like it's my journal. I don't write in journals very often, but I do love painting in them. And some of these were painted since I got back. Have been painted since I got back. I have a few blank pages. And this is what I've reserved for this. I think I have a couple other paintings in here that you'll see. This one I'm going to put tape in and maybe do 4 sky paintings in there. And I've got a spread. I've almost got it full. I'm really excited to fill it up. And there's one more. So, in one blank page. So I just have a few pages to go. Now, this village was in the southwest of France. And all I've done is I gave myself a little bit of a border with a pencil. And I'll talk briefly about, oh, Barbara, we'd love to have you sometime. I use a pencil with a kneaded eraser when I draw with a pencil, and sometimes I will give
Right now I'm trying to get it to talk to me, but for some reason.
guides. And then for a permanent marker, I like drawing with either Faber-Castell or Rotring Sticky Graphic pens, fairly fine point. I have black, sanguine, and dark sepia. So I'll use one of those today. My paintbrush is, oops, flying out of my hands. And let's see, here's one. So I mentioned this in the list. And this is a Dynasty Black Gold 311 quill. If you go to the brushguys.com and click on me under teacher, you'll get a discount, like a 5% discount. And I think this one's maybe $14. Oh, thank you for sharing answers, you all. And this is a size 10 round. So maybe you don't have this kind of brush, but you have a regular watercolor round, that will do. I'm using Daniel Smith watercolors. They come in tubes, and I put them in my palette and let them dry. Some of these, oops, some of these aren't completely dry yet, but it's a good idea, especially if you're going on a trip, to make sure your paints are completely dry, because it will make a mess. Dory, I think most everyone else can see, so it might be on your end. So just sign out and sign in again. All right, let's see. What else can I tell you that I have handy? What I like about this sketchbook, the Etcher sketchbook, is it's Fabriano paper. And I don't have the pad right by me, which would be good, but Fabriano 140-pound paper is the best. And like I said, this sketchbook is stitched and glued, and it helps it hold together. And this perfect one that we love, it will be out, they'll be out with a new one soon. Canson is good. Arches. I don't know, I have so many sketchbooks. There's a lot of great ones. Marie mentioned that she makes her own sketchbook. Yes, you can buy a pad and take it to FedEx or one of those places, and they'll bind it for you. Everyone's putting in things. Thank you. I appreciate your help. Okay, so what else can I tell you? A very key thing, and then we'll jump right in, is when you rinse out your brush, leave it on the top part. Don't leave it in the water. Rinse out at the top and dab, 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 at least twice. That's going to help you remove the extra water. Then, as you go into a color, and I'm just grabbing a random color, the consistency is what helps you manage the values. So I'm making a milk consistency, and I'll just kind of put that right there. And if I add more water to it, that will be coffee. Maybe a little less. There we go. And then more water. And that will be herbal tea. So it gets lighter the more water you add. But notice I don't have a puddle in here. If you want to get darker, you mix a creamy mix. And if you can do this, you can do most anything in watercolors. So I'm going to write extra light, light, medium, and dark. Herbal tea, coffee, milk, and cream. Most of the time, stay in here. You can layer up, you can get a little darker, but if you're here, your painting is going to get heavy. It won't have the transparency that you get here. So just think about that as you're painting. And I'll show you other things as we go, but I want to keep it simple. If you can't hear, it's probably on your end because everyone else can hear. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you for helping her out. I've even got my special microphone today. So it's even louder. I have to show you. It's gigantic. So I believe it's working. All right. And I'll pull that back as I need it. So the first thing we want to do is get into the drawing. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use my pen. Oops, I don't want to do it on that. Yeah, I have a brown pen. Black is great. It's very close to brown. So you check your pen and make sure it has good flow. I kind of like that one. Sometimes when you do it, you'll notice your pen, some pens move or glide along better than others. But now I like this one. So that's black. I'm assuming most of you have black, so I don't want anyone to feel bad. That's right. You can go into your Zoom and adjust your audio in there too, but I'm sorry, I can't help you there. All right, I print this out in black and white, and I'll bring this out now and then, but that is one tip I want to share is not only do you print out your image, maybe you have it on an iPad or you're looking at the computer. If I print out a black and white, it helps me forget about the colors. And oh, this is a 0.3. So you know this one 0.7. This is a small, just thin is good. Black and white is good. It helps you let go color and see values. And one thing I definitely want to point out is this giant snowball of lavender. It's actually lavendy. And lavender is the expensive lavender that we love, and lavendy is what they make with the soap. So we're going to make it smaller because that big shape is going to take over everything. And I will come back to that later. All right, so if you want, you could take a pencil. And what I want to do is just kind of decide where is that going to go? Probably about there. I'm not getting real specific on anything. And I want my window to be about here. And my door, sometimes you run out of room. So if you do this, it just kind of gives you an idea how it's all going to fit. And that's about right. And that way I can go in and be confident that it's going to fit. It may not fit exactly the way I see it here, but it's just my journal, and I'm going to let whatever happens happen. Now this gigantic wall lavender, what I like to do is get in my organic shapes first. So there, I made it a lot smaller, and I can come back and it can get bigger later. I see I can even come back and do this if I decide, oh, I wanted it to be a little bigger. So now you've got some ink on the paper, and hopefully you're not stressing out. You're starting to let go. Then I'm going to take this vine up. This is going to come up somewhere from behind here. So here is the vine. And it's not perfectly straight. It's got some interesting shapes in it. So I know you can do that. Let's see, I should turn on my do not disturb button.
Cindy, are the other shapes in your sketchbook, are those in pencil, the squares?
Yeah, I just put that in to give me an idea how big I want to get with those.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Is that Tony? Let's see. Then the edge of the vines, you go in and out, in and out. This one's kind of crawling up the wall. And go in and out. Don't have hard straight lines like that. It's an organic line, and it's going up and down, and it's very interesting. Now, what I love about drawing with the pen is that you accept what you do. And I think it's kind of fun. It goes a lot faster than if you draw with a pencil and then come back with the pen. And generally, if you just kind of get used to it, you'd be surprised at what you can do.
Cindy, do you ever use a ruler for the windows and the doors so the lines are straight?
I rarely use a ruler. I did on one thing. I made, one thing somewhere in here. I used a ruler. I don't know where. I really don't. I carry a triangle with me.
Huh?
Oh, I know where I did. I did this line right there. And I just took my pencil. It's not even perfectly straight, but I just took a pencil and drew that one line in so it wouldn't be crooked. And it kind of bows up anyway. But yeah, I rarely have a ruler anywhere nearby. In fact, I was looking for a ruler this morning and I couldn't find it. So but some of us tend to lean one way or the other as we're drawing. Okay, now I've got these organic shapes, and I want to start drawing in some of the other items. So this one's pretty easy. And I've got a line there, but there's no rule. it goes beyond that center. So I'm going to put it, the edge of that about here. And that's close. And I want you to know, if you don't draw a straight line, you just kind of restate it. Because most of my lines are not perfectly straight. So I can come back in and kind of straighten it out and draw a second line. And all that does is gives it some character and depth. Then on the outside of that, there is another line right here. Whoops, I'll put that one up. It's easier to see. There. And sometimes I do better going from left to right. So I'm going to draw that in. And already see that line's not straight. Oh, I can draw in another line and straighten it out. So don't worry about crooked lines. They're much more interesting than everything being perfect. And there we go. So that felt pretty good. I didn't get too wonky with that.
Cindy,
Yeah.
someone asked what kind of tape you use.
Oh, good question. I use, do I have it nearby? For traveling, and I'm really liking this. Thank you, Carla. This is Nito tape, and I'm almost out of it. It's from Holbein, and Dick Blick, I believe, has it. You probably find it on other sites. And I like it because it's really lightweight and fairly small. If I want sturdier tape, this works great. But I also use the Pro Artist tape. And that I find at Dick Blick. Now I mentioned Dick Blick because it's in Utah. And that's my local art store. But online, you know, you get these anywhere. Don't buy this from Amazon because it's awful. The Amazon artist tape is just cheap masking tape. Okay, so now I've got 3 themes and I can develop the rest of the painting around that. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of block in where my door is. And I'm going to go all the way to the outside of that detailing. I take out whatever I don't need, like whatever that box is. We don't care about that. And I think that's about right. I don't care if I get my dimensions just right. There's that. It comes over. And there's a thinner line right there. And now I'll come inside that shape. And if you need to rotate your paper, because sometimes it's easier to get a line when you rotate it, so you can go from left to right, go ahead and do that. There we go. That one's, I'd like it to be a little thicker. See, I just draw another line in. And I think that gives it some character. Now I see these windows. And they start in the middle. It's easier to go to those outer shapes.
Cindy, someone commented that that white box is for the milkman where it exchanges
Oh,
the
yes.
water bottles. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Thank you.
Thank you to, let's see who has said that. Belle. She commented on that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you could put it in if you want. Maybe I'd write milk on it or something so it sort of identifies itself. Because it looks to me like it could be a utility box.
I bet you can make it have a little more character than it does now.
I agree.
For
Or
sure.
make it a mailbox. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes in France too, they have what looks like a newspaper roll box, but it's for fresh baguettes every day.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that great? I want one.
I know. I want one too. I want to go there. I felt really at home in this area.
Cindy, someone asked, when you travel, do you sit and paint or do you take photographs and paint from those?
I do both. So if I'm teaching, we paint twice a day, generally. And oh, that one's really crooked. And if I'm traveling with my husband, I just take advantage of opportunities to paint when I see them. You know, like we were in Portugal, and sometimes you just have to say, I need some time to sit and paint, because it isn't always handed to you. Sometimes you have to just say, I need a little bit of time. But as I said, with the workshops, we paint twice a day, but then you also have time to walk around and take photos, because you've got to have more to come back with. All right.
Cindy, someone asked, do you often use broken lines to add character?
Oh, yeah. Like if I have a straight line, it's not solid. It's not solid. I break up the line a little bit. It's too hard to draw a perfect straight line. And I think it adds character. So thank you for noticing that. I'm also coming in and straightening out a few things. But I think every time I add another line, it just becomes more interesting. Like in here, I can get more and more involved in that door and get lost in those details. It all depends often on how much time you have. And my goal for today, are we at 36 after we finally got it all going, is to get you through this, at least for me to finish. And if you finish too, we would love to see what you've done. Let's see, I'm going to put a step here. And if you wanted to, you could just do a part of this. There's a green rug or something that I just take it out. I don't want to think about it. And there's a pot. Well, let me come to about here. Now, what happens when you're traveling and painting, you're just having an experience where you use all your senses, you take it all in. And like when I'm drawing this, it's taking me right back to being there. And so even if all you do are little drawings in a postcard size notebook. That's awesome. All right.
Cindy, someone was asking about your workshops.
Thank you for putting that in there.
This
Cindy's here.
particular
Sorry.
this particular one, is this photo from Provence, or is it from up in
Oh,
Paris?
This is in the southwest of France.
Okay,
Yeah,
I put them all in there. I just didn't know where
Okay.
this image was from. Maybe you put it on there.
Next, yeah, I just went down one of the side streets and took pictures. The light was really fun. I have to say, Cindy Horner is here in the group, which is so fun. Her maiden name is Cindy Briggs. And we met online. And I went to Switzerland to paint with her. It was so fun.
I remember when you did that. Yeah,
She's here. She lives in Arizona now.
that's awesome.
Okay, where does the bottom of that go? Oh, I'm close. This is the inside part of the window. And see the lines I gave myself to begin with, they are not absolute. They're just to help me find my way through the shapes. Okay, now I'll go ahead and go down the center. So see, I don't use a ruler, I just use my hand. When I'm drawing organic shapes, especially, I keep my pen down. When I'm drawing geometric shapes, I kind of have to work a little more carefully. There we go. So we are going to Giverny, I guess I should say, next year in August, and Heather will be there. And Cicely in October, this October, we have 2 rooms left for that. And I just made my airline ticket reservations, and it was about $1,000 to get there, because I don't know when I'm coming back. So, and I could have gotten it for less. I just like flying certain airlines. So that gives you an idea. Let's see, September, I'm doing a workshop in Nebraska, in Aurora, Nebraska. And we're going to be doing studio and plein air in that, which, like, why Nebraska? Well, they called me and my husband's from Nebraska. So I have an appreciation for all things Nebraska. All right, this is where's my pencil? I've lost it already. Which I just wanted to divide this into thirds. There we go. And then it helps me size my window panes. So the first time I really started using the pen was when I went to Alaska, and I just challenged myself to only draw with a pen in my sketchbook. And I found I was drawing really complicated things because I challenged myself with that. Now, that doesn't mean you can't ever use a pencil. I have a lot of paintings in here where I use a pencil. What I like about the pen for traveling is you just get it down and you accept it and then move on. Because you don't have a lot of time to do this. Now, here's the shutter. Now, this lavender comes all the way up to the shutter. I'm not doing that. There we go. Somebody told me that architects break their lines. These are like little thought lines. Every time I skip a beat, I am just pausing and making sure I'm happy with where I'm going. If you have to leave, I understand. I will be sharing this link to the recording. Triple checking. Yes, it's recording. I will share the link in my newsletter in a couple days. I have to let it process and then upload it, and I will upload it to my YouTube account. I do these about 3 times a year. And of course, in my programs, I have multiple programs and I have them going all the time. Now, if you find this challenging, maybe just paint the door when we get to that part, or focus on the window. What's nice about painting something like this that's straight on is you're not worrying about perspective. Everything is straight. How long? Oh, it'll be on YouTube forever. Probably. Good questions. Okay, so I've got those in, and this is, I got it backwards. I have to show you on that page. And I'm doing this so that you get it right. Where is it? Too many pages. There it is. So notice these are Z's, and these go the same way. This is wrong. I did it wrong because somebody asked me a question and then I got distracted and I mess up and nobody even notices. It's fine. So what I'm doing here is the Z's face outward. So I just wanted to pay attention and get that. That one's out and this one's out. And then, oh, this one's in.
Oh,
no, this is just ice water.
not me, is that,
Oh, this is Cindy Briggs that I like. She's just doing a lesson.
There we go. So see how I double checked, and there will probably be some of you that still got them backwards, and that's okay.
I got mine backwards when we were in Southwest France. I did them all the same way.
I couldn't believe I did that. I was demonstrating. I should at least get it right.
Cindy, what online workshops are open right now in case anybody's interested?
Oh, thanks. Quick. Watercolors by the Sea closed yesterday, but if you want to be in that one, just email me and I can send you a link. Quick Sketch Watercolors is open for 2 more weeks. And all about watercolors. Quick Sketch is doing a lot of these. We do animals and flowers and roosters and landscapes, all kinds of subjects. And then all about watercolors, which covers just about everything. We meet every month. that opens in September. I have a mentoring program, which I think I have one spot available. And that's more one-on-one time, you know, in our group. We do a lot together. And watercolor portraits usually opens up at the end of the year. So there's plenty of things, both online and in person. Let's see.
If you haven't had a chance to check out Cindy's online programs, they are such a good value. I think most of her online classes, there's at least, I don't know, 15 or 20 different modules at least, and then you have monthly live.
Quella parte
I
lì.
think
California.
Vedi quella parte lì,
Sono
sì,
9
forse non è
ore.
proprio California.
Sono le 11 notte.
Yeah, there's a lot
Sono ore.
of videos in there. In fact, I think Quick Sketch I started with that one, and it has bazillions of videos. I think All About Watercolors were past 50. I don't even know exactly. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of creating a fun border around the edge of my drawing. And oops, some things are going outside the edge. See, there's a crooked line that just happens. And now my painting has an interesting border to it. And I'm about ready to paint. This is close. I see a pot kind of tucked in back there, so I think I'm going to add it. And I will say often my students outpaint me. I mean, they're so good, or they come up with an idea that I wouldn't have thought of. It's just the inspiration goes back and forth. So now I've tucked in some flowers behind the lavender. I see. I'm going to grow the lavender up just a little bit, so the height is different. So what's left? I kind of like it just the way it is. I don't draw in the shadows. I paint the shadows in, and I can spend a lot more time finessing my lines, but I know you're ready to paint. So we're going to jump into that. Before I paint, I want to lose my pencil lines. And I know some of you don't have the same colors that I have, so just use what you've got. Anything close will do. And I am not as excited about the color of those shutters as I am about other shutters that I saw in the area. Heather, you're doing awesome. She's putting in some great information. So I'll come back, add spotlight. So you can see the shutters behind me are a pastel blue, which was a blue that was developed in France in this region. And, you know, you think of that color as a French blue, so I'm going to go that way. But you can make your shutters any color you want. Let's remove this. Okay. There we go. We'll get everything on here so we can paint.
Cindy, someone asked, did you mean to leave out the white frame on the top of the window?
Oh, no, thank you, Kathleen. I did not mean to do that. So I'll bring it in. Yeah, I thought there was something missing. But it just, there, that's better. And anything else, if you notice, just let me know. This pencil lines.
And Cindy Horner said, you can use that lavender color you love so much.
Yes, that lavender color is quite beautiful. And this is lavender. And it's just a wonderful warm and cool color. And if you have that, that one's great. Cobalt blue is a nice one. That looks a lot more like the French blue. I could even mix the two. What do I get with that? That's pretty good in between the two. So I may go there. But before I go there, I'm going to paint in some of these greens, the organic shapes, and get you going. What do you think about what color do you want your shutters to be? And we'll get rid of this. I keep my palette pretty clean. Start with a light green. So I have a yellow green right here. This is phthalo yellow green. You can add lemon yellow to your color. Move that back. I had a little bit of light being blocked there. And I'm just going to use some of that. This is a coffee consistency. And I'm going to go about halfway over.
Cindy, what size is your brush you're using today? Someone asked.
Oh, I meant to grab my 2. There it is, size 2. Dynasty Black Gold, which is similar to a 10. If you don't have this kind of quill. All right.
And someone also asked, how do you decide what to paint first on your page?
I paint the organic shapes first, the flowers, the trees, because they're in front of the building. So when I get down to this, I'm going to put some geraniums in there. And I will paint them first. But you can't paint these greens or flowers on top of the wall. The colors won't be as vibrant. Another thing I want to point out, I'm mixing my green with my phthalo yellow green. What was I going to point out? Oh, leave little gaps of light in your vines. And just let your paintbrush dance around. So I went in quicker this time. Oops. Because I wanted my colors to mingle a little bit more. Oh, now that's wet paint. When you get wet paint, it'll give you a hard time. I just squeezed that in today. Okay, this paintbrush. I've abused a lot of my paintbrushes. They don't last forever. That you can go in and dip it in under a hot water tap and get those split ends cleaned up. It's much easier to paint when your paint is completely dry in the palette, and then just add a little water to it. So this is lemon or phthalo yellow green. And then I'm coming in with some green apatite down below where it's a little darker. Now, if you have sap green, you could use that. It's just a matter of having kind of lighter up above and darker down below. So let's say here's phthalo blue green shade. I can mix my yellow with that or gold. You know, you can mix your own greens. And now I am finally over to the other side of that. So I'm not being real particular. I'm trying to have some very greens and just sort of dabbing around with my brush. I celebrate blossoms that happen.
Cindy, someone asked if you ever paint with your paper on a slant or your sketchbook on a slant.
It's a little bit on a slant when it's on my easel, but I prefer flat. I like the paint to just move out rather than slide down. So that's a personal preference. You know, if you like it's on a slant, you can do that. You can always put something underneath. I'm very flat right here. Thank you, Heather. How would I have done this without you today? I don't know.
I'll do my best to help.
No, you probably just wanted to paint.
That's okay. It's a recording, so
That's true.
I'll get you. I'll
know.
get it.
Okay.
I'm gonna paint it in my France book, and I don't want to completely be distracted when I paint it in my book that I took with you.
I understand. Lavender. The lavender alone is a little bluer than I want, so I added. See, I just kind of keep playing with it. I added in some rose to it. Gives you sort of a wisteria color. I'm just gonna play with it. Now I've got a variety of colors all in that puddle. Yeah, I always say dip your brush in almost boiling water and it'll close up the split ends. And but don't do that with a synthetic brush, or I mean, not a synthetic, a sable brush or natural animal hair brush, because that will ruin it. So only do it with synthetic brushes. Okay, now I'm just putting in some strokes of the lavender, the rose, the mix of the two to suggest this lavendy. That's kind of fun. You always paint the flowers first. They're the stars. Then the green can just go around it. So what this is giving you just different brush strokes that you can do within your painting. I want a little more rose there.
Cindy, someone asked if you ever work with watercolor pencils.
I bought some a few years ago, but I rarely use them just because it's one more thing to carry. And when I'm traveling, I don't want to carry very much. I just saw something now that somebody did. And I thought, oh, maybe I should pull them out again. So I'm all for watercolor pencils, watercolor pens, trying out different mediums. There we go. That is a blossoming lavender plant. And now I have these two other plants. This one's all green, but I may put a few yellow flowers in it, and you'll notice my yellow is so dirty. All I have to do is wipe it out. So I've had almost a full month of teaching almost every day. And this is towards the end of that. And I have to say, I'm enjoying painting as much as I can. It's been really fun. And this is kind of before the summer break. And then we get back into it towards the end of the month. I just put a little bit of yellow down in there. Maybe I've got a few yellow flowers in that. And this one, I'm going to suggest geraniums using my cadmium red medium hue. So it's just a warm red. I guess that pot and plant, somebody might put a cat. A cat could be good. You could have a cat in the window or on the side. I actually buy pictures or prints or take photographs of cats when I see them on my travels and send them to my mom. She loves cats and she just knows I'm thinking about her. Now, as you're painting in these geranium shapes, what you don't want is all polka dots. You want a variety of sizes and groupings. Maybe you want other flowers in there, go for it. And I'm going to tuck one back in there. That works. We're almost done with all the plants. I've got to come back in and put in some greens with these. Up in here, I could have a little bit darker value of my greens. Oh, I can paint that. That's well done. Permanent brown. My paint is so thick. That was fresh. Brown and lavender. Gonna make a nice kind of cool gray. And you know, if you don't have those colors, just think about what can you do to vary your browns. So I could bring in some blue into that. So as I'm coming down, I'm changing the color. There we go. Wow, 395 people. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're having fun. If you're not painting, that's okay. Just watch and know that you'll get the video link in a few days. There we go. So now you can see I have a variety of colors in that trunk. And I just noticed another light I can turn on. No, I turn on so many lights and I just missed one.
Cindy, someone asked if your palette changes, if you create a conceptual palette before you work, or are you basically using the same colors every time?
I use this palette for every one of my glasses and work with limited color within a painting. So it's not going every which way. So for instance, I'll just grab a couple, this has a lot of cool colors in it. With a little bit of warmth. I think about my colors to some degree ahead of time, which I listed on, let's see, here's one. But I use this palette for portraits. I use it for flowers. I use it for landscapes, cityscapes, everything. And it's a great mix of colors. On my in my newsletter, I always have my supply list. And just notice this is leaning. And I have videos in YouTube that you can watch to see how to put them in your palette, what order. There's even a map in there.
I put some links, a link to your website. They can find all your colors that you use and the palette and everything on her website. And if you have any questions after the Zoom, you could always email her at cindybriggsart@gmail.com. And I also put that in the chat.
Oh, thank you. I've just added some cobalt blue in with my phthalo yellow green. And this is dry, so I'm going to put a few greens in with my lavender. And notice I'm still leaving bits of light, but this is more of a blue green than this. This is a yellow green, this is a blue green. So sometimes you work with other colors to change your greens. If you only use one green, your paintings won't have as much dimension. And if you just go outside today and look at all the different greens that you see. And then maybe try to replicate some of those greens. Some greens are golden, and some are more towards blue or purple. Just in nature, there's a lot of greens to choose from. I may come back in with a little bit of lavender. Yeah, so you can add another bit of layering in there. Now, I don't want this to become a giant spider of color, so I'm just going to leave it alone because it was starting to feel that way. With these pots, I will use my orange and yellow ochre. Oh, maybe a little brown. And suggest the pots. And then one thing I like to do with my pots to give them age them a little bit. And I'll stick with my lavender. Just drop a little bit of that in with the orange. And I'll do the same thing over here. There's my earthy pot, yellow ochre, permanent brown, maybe a little orange. And I may grab just a little bit of lavender. Oh, I've got green on my hand. Sometimes you get your hand in the paint and it gets on your painting. Do I use whitewash? No, I rarely use whitewash unless I have to add some boat lines, or I forgot a highlight and I need to bring that in. I will mix it sometimes with other colors to get like lavender. If you don't have lavender, it's got some white in it. So you need to mix white in with that. You can use gouache or designer's white paint to get there. Okay, got a little bit more of my green here, a little green apatite. I like mixing the two together sometimes for almost a mid green. And I'm just going to bring some of that down in and around my flowers over here. And make a darker mix. I hope what you're getting from this is that, yes, you can draw and paint on your travels or just at home. These make great studies and really wonderful gifts. Sometimes they just magically work, and sometimes they may be more challenging, but they are always a great memory when you get home or even the next day. You don't have to go anywhere. You can just paint from home. One of my favorite quick sketches was from my neighborhood. When the neighborhood I lived in, they really get into decorating their front porches. And I see it. I don't see it on my wall. We painted front porch still lifes, pumpkins and flowers, you know, just fun decorations just right there on people's front porches. And they were wonderful. So right in your own neighborhood, you may find things to paint. I'm just going in with my green. I put that yellow in there first. So it's got a little bit of the suggestion of yellow flowers. And there's the geraniums and the lavender, which I want to fuss with, but I need to move on to my shutters and my door. And I think what I liked for mine is the lavender and cobalt blue, just kind of mixed together. And I can start right up here. I'm just going to paint those in. Notice I'm using the side of my brush. There we go. And this is a coffee consistency. It's not real thick, so it still has some transparency to it. There we go. This brush holds a great amount of paint, and I think just the right amount of water. I have seen it online with Dick Blick, but it's usually about $8 more with Dick Blick. Okay. Yes, I will be adding the shadows up above after I get the foundation of the drawing in. You know, all the main parts. I can actually go right through those because they're going to be darker. If I end up going outside the line, I don't freak out. It's just watercolor. Okay, now one thing I did want to point out is you can stop anywhere along the way and it could be spot color. You don't have to finish. Sometimes you just can leave it right there, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to put the wall colors in. See, now it goes pretty fast. And I'll come back and put in my shutters. I mean, the shingles. I do want to point out that the white in there is not pure white. It's got a little bit of shadow on it. So as long as I've got this, I'm going to use herbal tea and paint that in there. It'll just make it easier later on. All right, for the walls, I mentioned on my list, I do like blooms. Yes, thank you for putting that in there. Sometimes I don't want them on somebody's cheek, but generally I think they're kind of fun and they add to the watercolor. For the walls, I mentioned Naples yellow, yellow ochre, neutral, no, buff titanium. Maybe you have one of these or none of them. You just use whatever you've got. And up here it's real sunny, so I tend to lean a little more towards Naples yellow when it's sunny. The color I see is kind of leaning more towards the yellow ochre. So I can go back and forth between those and vary it. Now, what's great about these European walls is they're aged. They're old, they've been around. If you get blossoms in them, if your painting's a little messy, it doesn't matter. Kind of goes with the subject. So Naples yellow, yellow ochre, or raw sienna is great. Oh, that works. Now I'm going to come down below and I will add shadows later. I just want to get the underpainting in there. One thing I do like to do is sometimes as I'm adding a warm color is get a little bit of cool and brush it in. It just gives it some character. I didn't do that up above because that's mostly in the sun, but I may do a little bit of it down below.
Cindy, someone asked if you ever use masking fluid in your quick sketch.
Oh, good question. Rarely, because I'm in a hurry. But now and then it will call for it. I'm trying to think if I have anything where I've used masking fluid. Not really. It kind of forces you to just remember to save the whites. But if you need to, that would work. It just means you have to sit there and wait for it to dry. Here's some of that lavender. Now, when I drop the lavender in, I'm not stirring it up, or I'd end up with kind of a green color. There we go. So see, with this, I'm painting around the white. I really like masking fluid for some subjects.
I think the whole time we were in Southwest France, at least the time I was there with you, I didn't see you use it.
I just used it once on that flower pot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I used any, but I didn't bring any, but I think you did use it on that flower pot in the garden, right at the location. Yeah.
To save some of the lights in the vines. That's the only time I used it. And up in here. But you can save your whites. All right, what else do I have? Oh. I have the lower part. I was just going to make that a little darker. And, never fill my palette up right before demo. There we go. I wanted to go a little darker down in here. And not quite so bright. I just added a tiny bit of green. And what that does is it calms it down. The masking fluid I like, because someone's asking, is this fine line masking fluid pen. It's awesome. All right, so down here, I've just got a little bit of a different color. And I used my yellow ochre, my brown, and I put a tiny bit of green in. And the green neutralizes the brown, so it's not so red. There we go. And I'm going to use that down in here and here. There we go. I would say plan on, you can do a really quick sketch. I'm slowing down a little bit because, I'm doing this with you, but you'd be surprised at what you can do in a few minutes when that's all you've got. That nice color change right there. And inside the windows, there are different colors. I may use some of my brown and some of my blue. I have one the other day. I had 20 minutes that I did for a group. Is that dry? And I'll show you that at the end. I mean, I really had about 12 minutes and then I think we did 20. I'm kind of going back and forth between my blue and my brown to vary the colors in the window. You may find after you're done with a quick sketch, you might want to do a little bit more, but wait until the next day because you may come back to it and go, oh, that's actually just fine. It's natural to think while you're painting that you need to do more. And the trick is to do less, to not go too far. And let it be a little bit undone. So I will often say, here's some green. I see a little bit of green. So you can put different colors in those window panes. Going back to my brown, permanent brown is a great brown. If you have buff titanium, that's good too. Or not buff titanium, burnt sienna. There we go. Little. Now, I could have made this really easy and just painted a window, but I had to keep going, give you the vines and the door and the upper shutters, but that's what I loved about this. If you go to my YouTube account, you'll see a few other paint-alongs. There's some hollyhocks. There's Monument Valley in there. There's a few other things. It just gives you an idea of different subjects. Some things are quicker than others. There, and here's another one. So what's left? Shadows. Right now, it's very flat. The shadows are what's going to give it more depth. There we go. And let's see. Just sort of made that up. So I'm going to put some color, that wall color, maybe right there. A little bit of the blue. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. It's that wall color we used, and I'm letting the blue mingle in with the brown. And right there, that's pretty good, but we're going to make it better and just a little bit more by layering on some shadows. And thanks for coming, Natalie. Let's see. If you have to leave, that's okay. I know I thought this would be about an hour and a half, and we are getting close to that. This wall color in my shadows, I want the warm that I see right here. And on a photograph, it tends to go gray. But I don't use gray. I use the same color that's already there. And then I may bring in some blue or lavender into that. But you need the wall color or it doesn't make sense. When I'm painting on this or white, you tend to use the blue. So let's start with that and just kind of add in some shadow. And that's going to start giving this a little more dimension. I'm using my blue and my lavender because I made a blue door. If you have a brown door, you may want more of the brown in there. Now, as it comes onto the white, there's a shadow on there. I'm just going to use a lighter version of that mix because there is a shadow on the white part of it. I didn't worry too much when I accidentally went over that edge. There's a shadow on this shutter.
And Cindy, that is your lavender and your blue mix. Is there anything else in that? I missed it. I'm sorry.
No, it's just lavender and blue.
Okay, thank you.
When I get to the walls, I'm going to use yellow ochre, but I'll drop in a little bit of lavender now and then. We'll see how that works. But already I like that door. And the lavender and blue. There's a shadow right over here. And I see the shadows on the shutter. I don't draw in the shadows with the pen because that is confusing. You just draw the hard parts, the actual subjects versus all the shadows. When I paint with using a pencil, I do draw those shadow shapes in. This will get a little more on it later. This is up in the shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of fill that in and come down here. And also in here. There are shadow shapes cutting through this window. You may go, well, that's not what I see. Some things I make up. No shadows on that, except I could, paint in some of these board edges if I wanted to. That's up to you. Put them in, mess them up a little bit. There we go. Now the shadows on the walls, they're actually where they come down. So I'm going to use a little bit of my yellow ochre right in there. And I'm going to grab my lavender mix and just drop a little bit of that. Let it mingle, but not mix. And I'll go a little further over. Leave a little gap of light now and then. That comes all the way down. I don't see what it's doing behind. So we're just going to pretend it comes all the way down like that. And while it's still wet, I'll grab a little lavender and just brush a little bit of that in. You stir it, you make mud, but if you drop it in, it makes a little magic.
Hi, Cindy.
Yes.
I've been so quiet. Good girl. Rusty here.
Hi, Rusty.
I just had this thought I had to share with you.
Yes.
When we were introduced all these nice colors in the windows and the door and everything. And I thought, oh, are we having fun yet?
Oh, did you like that?
Fun. It was so fun. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just it opened up the pathway instead of saying, okay, those windows are gray with a little bit of light and blah, blah, blah. And then I thought, oh, wow, these could be stained glass. They could be anything, right?
Yes.
So thank you for that.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks for joining in.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I'll be quiet again.
Okay. I actually like it when somebody, asks questions or makes comments. So hopefully you're see how I'm just the yellow ochre, and I add a little bit of that lavender and blue today. Thank you, Patty, for your sweet note. Oh, I hope you heal up well. Painting is so good for you. It's like meditation. It's good for your soul. It's good for your mind and your heart. And I feel the energy of everyone around me when I'm painting, and it's a wonderful thing that we can do with our time. So I appreciate you for fitting me into your schedule today.
This has been so much fun and I really like it, but is there any way to fix the lavender plant if you're not happy with it?
Oh, the gigantic exploding plant.
Yes.
I know I kind of did that. Yeah, you just take a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and get it wet, and you can kind of scrub in the middle of it a little bit and then soften it.
Okay, thank you.
You know, Cindy, it's Carmela. I did that after the last Smithsonian class
Yeah.
we did with the door and couldn't believe it. It was great.
I know it's a miracle.
Get rid of my mistake. If I could get rid of other mistakes as quickly. Great.
Yeah, I use that a lot. Just Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. I always have a piece nearby. You put it in clean water. I'll even do a little bit on mine because mine got a little it just lifts up the paint. I mean, you can bring it back to white paper if you want. So see how that soften that up a little bit, and then when it dries, I'll go ahead and just add something in. But I wanted to show you this because once I learned about Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, it changed painting for me. I knew I could make a mistake and go back in and fix it. Okay, where's my blue and my brown?
Cindy, someone asked if you were doing this to be a framed piece, would you have drawn it differently?
Yeah, I would have sized it to fit a frame. So it's good to plan on like 8 by 10, 9 by 7, I mean 9 by 12, 11 by 14. Think about what size you want so it'll fit a frame. And then I would tape around it. I could still do this kind of random edge, but I'd want to make sure it was sized to fit a frame. Or here, I just sized it for my journal. And it won't fit a frame. That's a good question. Yeah, I learned that early on that, oh, if I have to frame these, it'd be much less expensive if I sized it to go with frames that are already made, because odd size frames, you have to have them custom made.
I have an old painting a friend, it was actually a pastel a friend gave me, I don't know, probably about 15 years ago. And I've always wanted to frame it. I went in and ordered, it won't fit in a regular frame, and pastels are tricky.
Oh,
so I thought, I'm just gonna bite the bullet. Oh my gosh, it was literally almost $400 because they have to create some little tray or something for the pastels to fall in. Anyway, I bit the bullet and did it because I love it so much. But boy, that's a really great tip to try to make your paintings fit in already ready-made frames.
Oh yeah, I learned that the hard way. So thank you for sharing that. I know framing is crazy expensive unless now you can buy some online that are pretty good, but those are still standard sizes. So when I'm teaching, I usually have an 8 by 8 or an 8 by 10 for the lesson. Whereas this one, I'm just like, whatever happens, happens. By painting in another layer of color once it dries, and I can get a little more definition. Where else do I have shadows? That's not bad, except for where I use the masking fluid. I think I'm going to put a little color on the ground right down here. Just because it sort of felt like it was floating. That's sort of my muddy mix. Maybe a little bit right there. That just grounds it a little bit. Bring in some lavender. And if you don't have lavender, just use blue. That works.
Are you going to do any shading underneath the windowsills?
Oh, there is a shadow there, isn't there? Yeah, I'll go back up to that. I should have all of you with me when I'm painting. You can tell me what I'm missing. This one I see, here's that yellow ochre. And I don't know what that is. Yellow ochre under here. I think I'll put some there too. Now it's got a little more depth. I thought about it while I was doing the rest of it, and then I forgot. There. I like that. That's pretty white. But I may add a little bit of a detail, maybe a little bit in here. And it could go up in there. There we go. And that's a little too perfect up there. So I've got some of my buff titanium. I want it to be different than my border. So I call this a vignette because it doesn't have a hard border. Oh, but look at that window. Isn't that fun? And the door, the light and shadow on the door. When you have glass.
Getting busy. Just a minute. Just a
Cindy,
minute.
could you talk a little bit about photorealism versus just expression? Because I think that's what you're trying to go for, and it's pleasing. Thank you.
Oh, sure. I could say when I started painting, I was totally photorealism. See, I'm just lifting some water in those, lifting some paint in those panes to make it look like glass. So when I started, was I photorealism. And part of that was I didn't know how to paint something that I didn't see. So I painted exactly what I saw. And now, after years of painting, the more, I want a little more color in that one, the more I paint, the freer I get to express what I see or make it even better. And I celebrate people that do photorealism, but some of those paintings can take a month to do. And I want my paintings done in a day or less, or even just a couple hours. So it kind of depends what you want. You know, if you're going out and you're painting on location, it's going to be more of an expression of what you see. Whereas when you work from a photograph, you have to sort of hold back and not let the details dictate what you paint. You still edit what you see. I'm going a little darker up in there. I can add on layer after layer after layer. And I just wanted you to see that. Tucked in under here, somebody mentioned, oh, it's so much darker up in that little area. Well, part of that's the photograph pushing it darker. If you were sitting there, you'd probably see more light. But I can still go in. Maybe I'll bring in some of my blue and brown. There we go. I can get a bit darker up in there. Let's see, right in there. Wet it, wet my brush, and pull some of that down. So it's not quite, I don't want it to get light too light, but I can push the intensity of that more if I want. Just go in with a little bit of the brown or the yellow ochre with the brown. And then blend it, because it's not going to be as intense, oops, as it is down lower in the page. So see how that got darker? And I might just do a little section of that to show you. So it's up to you how far you want to go. Sometimes I start a little too light, and I just know I can go back in and make it darker. Whereas if I start too dark, it's kind of hard to come back from that. I can even drop in some of my lavender up in there too. So great comments. I do look up now and then. And I know some of you have to go. That was great. We're going to take pictures here in a minute. Group pictures, because I love to see what you did. There's so many of you that you're not going to stand out that much. So I can come back into that now if I want, and it's mellowed out a little bit. Calmed down.
I actually really like that you kind of erased it a little bit and then went back in.
Oh, good.
I like it better. I like it better now. I mean, I liked it before, but I like it even better now.
It wasn't doing what I wanted. So I'm glad somebody asked, because I needed to fix what happened. Thank you, Heather. All right. So that's kind of fun. There is a typical kind of quick sketch that we would do on location. Sometimes, look at this. I'm sitting here looking at it and thinking, well, this would be a fun one right there. Just the door and the vine. Or even just the window. Actually, that one's really nice up there too. So when you're out there, pick what you're drawn to. And know that you could draw the whole thing and just paint the door, or draw the whole thing and just paint the greens. You don't have to paint everything. Yeah, I'll be sending out an email with the link, and it will be going on YouTube. I do 3 of these a year, and they're kind of fun. So thank you for making time today to join us. Now I've got space in here for another painting on my page, and it looks like a journal page. So, every page is a little different, and it tells a story of your journey. So just another peek at some of my pages while you're getting ready to share. And there it is. Okay, let me so I'd love to take a screenshot and go to the groups, wherever you are, gallery. Wow, we've got quite a few people still here. Thank you for coming. This is so fun. Hold up your painting or smile, whichever you prefer, because this gives you a chance to see. I have 4 pages. So I'm going to start. You may not know what page you're on. So just keep smiling. And let's see. I'll do 1, 2, 3. France, smile. Okay, now I'm doing the next page. Keep them up, because you don't know what page you're on for me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, France. There we go. 3rd page. 1, 2, whoops. 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3, Fran, smile. And I've got one more page. Wow, I don't think I've ever had this many. This is exciting. 1, 2, 3, France. There we go. I'll go back to my page so I can find where I was. Your work is beautiful. I love seeing it. What I'd love to do, I lost my painting again. What I'd like to do for anybody who wants to share real quick, just you raise your hand in the reactions, and I'm just going to do some quick spotlights, and we'll share real quick. So I see some of you have got that, the reactions, it's down in there, and let's spotlight a few as we go. Eva.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi. Oh, that's fabulous.
And thank you.
Thank you.
I can see that Amy is here, and I have 2 friends from Sweden painting together with us.
Oh, that's wonderful. Welcome to Eva's friends too. Thank you, Eva.
Thank you.
Great. Perfect start for the group. Veronica. Veronica is so charming. I like your lavender better than mine, and your colors too. That's great. Thank you. Okay, Sarah Anderson. There we go. See, look at these. It just feels like you were there. Absolutely gorgeous. What's your takeaway today?
Still not good on the flowers, but working on them.
Always working on things. I
Yeah.
love your colors.
Thanks.
Your harmony in your windows with your flowers is pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I like that. Look at that. She caught it. Thank you. Let's see. Hopefully you'll lower your hand because I forget. Veronica. Hey, Veronica. Sorry I didn't warn you. Oh, fabulous. Did you just come up? I might have called on you again.
You did do mine. I'm sorry.
I do that. Okay. Thank you. All right.
I think I lowered it.
Yeah, it looks good. Thank you. And Connie. Hi, Connie. And then Jerry. I should have more warning. Oh, look at that. See, frame it.
It's not very good lighting.
Oh, but oh, that is so nice.
Thank you.
I love it. Frame it. It's so fresh. It feels like you were there.
The shadows are really nice.
Yeah.
That was my goal because I'm not very good at shadow. So that was it. It worked really well.
It really did. And your greens are stunning.
Thank you.
I love the shape of your wisteria plant. It really looks like it's a wisteria.
Oh, awesome.
It does. Thank you, Connie. All right, Jerry, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm coming in. I see your floor.
I don't know why you see my floor. Oh, I've got my camera there wrong backwards. I don't know how to change that.
Maybe move to the other side. That happens.
Well, there we go. Okay. Let's see.
That's
try to get
so
back there.
charming.
Okay.
Aww.
Absolutely charming. What's your takeaway today?
Oh, it was so fun, freeing, and I love doing the pen. I enjoyed, because I'm trying to do too realistic, so this was a lot of fun to do it this way.
Oh,
Hard to get that. Yeah.
What a great, and you can do it.
I'll do it. I'll do some more other
Thank
things.
you.
Yeah.
Hi,
Thank you.
Judith. Judith, and you are up. Hi, Judith. These are all so good.
Oh,
Fabulous. Thank you for sharing. What's your takeaway today?
I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much. I kind of feel like, and I just was working on it, I feel like it's too pale and all the same. So I just started trying to put in some darker parts down here. I don't know if you can tell on the bottom of the door.
Yeah.
So I was gonna like change it up like that. But I really enjoyed this. Cindy, you are, wow, so talented. And thank you, nice. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciated it.
Thank you. You know, I get inspired by all of you. This is what I live for. Thank you. Elise, we are moving along. Hi, Elise.
Hi.
Welcome. Let's see. Gorgeous.
Yeah. Mailbox.
I
Yeah,
love it.
I put the box in, couldn't resist.
And your cobble street, cobblestone.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
Look at
Oh,
that.
yeah. Yeah, so I would keep going darker, you know, to put in all the shadows, and I started, you know, sort of down here a little bit, but I ran out of time. Boy, when you're sketching, you gotta move fast.
You do. Just always know you can come back.
It's just fun to see that.
It's stunning, Elise. Thank you. I really like it. These are great to see. Donna, and then Yvette. Hi, Donna. See, everyone just so surprises me. These are beautiful.
Hi, it takes me about 10 minutes to unmute, but
You got it.
too much light.
That looks good.
The boy, that lavender. That
Aren't you glad we made it smaller?
I just the brush wasn't dancing.
Okay, but what do you like? Because I think all of it, especially the vine growing up the wall, is ideal.
Ah, thanks. I tried to mess around with the composition a little bit and not put everything where it was in the photo, so it kind of moved across.
I see that.
Some.
I see that. It looks great. You know, look what you did in 2 hours. Just from scratch.
You know, the faster the better, because I'll go down that rabbit hole of detail if I'm given too much time.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing. We're so glad to have you here, Donna.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Bye-bye. Okay, Yvette.
Hello.
So fun.
Yeah, this was of the colors.
The colors are great. Your drawing is great. This is what you do. You just get out there and do it and be surprised. I love it. And seeing yours along with everyone's is those vines where we started are so stunning and have a lot of depth.
This is fun. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's great to have you. Stacy. Hi, Stacy. Oh, charming.
My biggest takeaway was the shadows this time. I'm still working to get them to be more contrast, but just the same colors, that is a good key. And the line work, just always remember to make it with character, which is so fun.
Wasn't that fun? Your drawing is fabulous and your colors are too.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you.
All right, Jennifer. Oh, nice colors on your door.
Thank you.
Oh, we love it.
I made some boo-boos, and so I turned them into other stuff.
That is
So,
so
I
great.
got an extra bush and I lost my shutters.
That works. That works. That's
And
what
you
we do
notice.
with watercolor. We wouldn't even know.
Good job.
Absolutely fabulous. Great colors. Thank you, Jennifer. It's nice to see your smile. Where are you?
I'm in Bountiful, Utah.
Oh,
So I had no idea we're sort of neighbors in this kind of a situation.
no. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm glad you could make it.
Thank you.
Okay. I've got some people that maybe didn't lower their hands. Stacy?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry.
That's okay, because I will forget where I've been. Mindy, great to see you. Oh, so fun. Look at your colors. I like your French blue in there and your shapes in your shutters. You're just coming right along. Even your I think everyone's lavender plant is better than mine.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you for doing this for all of us. We so appreciate you.
Oh, I love doing it. I just felt it was time.
Yeah, I'm excited to try to sign up for another class in the Smithsonian.
Oh, good. Yeah, they're actually in November.
Oh, good. Okay, I'll watch for it.
November, and I'll be around.
Okay.
Paint with me. Thank you, Mindy.
Thank you, Cindy. Thanks for your generosity.
Oh, it was fun. Andrea. Hi, Andrea. Sorry, I didn't warn you. My virtual journey to France, south of France with Cindy. I love your notes. And your painting is charming. See, I really love having notes with my paintings because it helps you remember where you were going. And it adds a lot to the page. So what's your takeaway today, Andrea?
My takeaway was to focus firstly, and then try and get the painting and the drawing done. So it was quick for me, but I'm glad I did it because now I know just how much time I need to put in for each section.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Barbara, and then Joni. There's Barbara's. Oh, love that. That's fabulous. Everything about it.
This is my first class with you, Cindy, and I love your teaching method. And it's great. I'll be joining you for more.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're here, and thank you for
Thank
jumping in and sharing. It's wonderful, and it feels like you were there when I see this.
Oh, good.
It does.
Only in my dreams.
I'll take you all kinds of places if you paint with me. But thank you for joining us today. Thanks.
Thank you for giving us this lesson.
Oh, sure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Joni.
Hi, we've been on a marathon, haven't we?
Where'd you go? You disappeared.
Oh, I did? Uh-oh.
Poor Barbara's still on the screen.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's me. It's because I lost Joni. And here, I'll put it on me for a second.
Okay.
And I'll go back. We lost you, Joni.
That's weird. I've got everything on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, raise your hand again.
Let me do that again. Let's see if that's the problem. Okay, why don't I, should I call back in? That's weird.
Maybe I'll watch for you. How's that?
Okay, come back to me.
All right, Roxanne and then Maggie. Ladies, there we go. Roxanne, I'm loving seeing.
Oh, look at those shadows.
Shutters too.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Wow.
Everything about it is wonderful. Thanks, Roxanne.
Good. So what
Can't hear you though.
unmuted.
There you are. What's your takeaway today?
Oh, my takeaway was I love your palette colors. A lot of them are ones that are already my favorites, but I learned some new favorites today. I never thought I'd like that permanent brown, but it is such a lovely, it plays well with others when you mix it with the cobalt and the lavender. I really like that. It's
Welcome to permanent brown.
new color mixtures. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, and if you add green to it, it sort of neutralizes the red and it makes umber brown. So thank you, Roxanne.
That's fun. I loved it today. So thank you for doing these. It was great.
You know, it's so rewarding, especially seeing everyone's painting. It's at the end. That is, it fills my well. Thank you, Roxanne. Okay, Maggie. Maggie.
Hello.
You're sideways.
Oh, let me fix that. I'm doing this on my cell phone with a toddler crawling around. So
that's
so vibrant.
Wow. Isn't that beautiful? And look at the trunks and how she brought that window down below the vine. Very, very original.
Thank you. I have to tell you, my takeaway today is there's nothing to it but to do it. I was an art teacher and then I had a baby 19 months ago and I haven't touched any of my art stuff. So I'm using a children's paint palette right now, but I'm doing it. So thank you for getting me to create.
Oh, I love, there's nothing to it but to do it. What a wise statement. I love it. I'm gonna
Thank you so much, Cindy.
Thank you, and good luck with that cute kid you've got. I started painting with my babies, and it's good to have something for you. And they'll paint along with you as they get older.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, Maggie. Okay, Linda, then Teresa. Linda, aren't these amazing? Look at that.
All right, this is my first class with you, and I so loved it. It was just a freeing way of sketching and use of colors. It was an amazing class.
Oh, I'm glad
So
you.
thank you.
We're glad to have you, and your painting's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. And I just remember it didn't take that long to do it. And that keeps it fresh.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Thank you, Linda. We're glad you could join us, and I hope to see you again sometime.
Thank you.
Okay, Teresa. Hi, Teresa.
Hi. Hi.
We're live yours.
I traced with pencil and then did the pen over top of it. My takeaway was the shadows, to use a darker version of the same color and then drop in the lavender or the gray or the blue. That really was new to me, and I appreciated that. And I really, really enjoyed this. Thank you.
But the shadows on your door make the painting for me, and your vines are stunning.
Oh, I printed out the reference image and I turned it upside down and turned this upside down to do the shadows, because I need, to make my eye not see what it thinks it's seeing.
That
really helped.
Thank you for mentioning that, because that's a great way to see. Because we tend to paint what we think we see, but yes, by rotating it, you see it from a different point of view, and you see it better.
And see the shapes instead of the actual items.
Great idea and beautiful. Thank you. All right, Lisa. I love shares. This is really fun today. And I know people have to leave. We're just glad you could come. All right, Lisa.
Yes, this is my first class with you, Cindy.
I'm glad you could make it. Welcome. Did you have fun?
Yes, I did. But I definitely think that your lavender turned out better than mine.
I don't know. Yours, it's pretty good. What I do is I go up that vine and I look at the greens up above. I think the only thing I would do with yours is make that vine a little darker. tiny bit.
Right. And I know I need to work on more of my consistency of the paint because I'm not getting it right yet.
Well, what I like is you still kept it light rather than go too dark, because you can always go a little darker, but it's hard to go back to light once you put that dark down. So you are definitely on the right track. And the more you paint, the more control you get. Fantastic work. And welcome to our circle.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you. Okay, Deborah, then Loretta. Hi, Deborah. Oh, these are fabulous. Everyone that gets held up just makes me so happy. What's your takeaway today? This is fabulous.
To not paint the whole thing, like the whole door or the whole shutters. Leave white holidays around, and same with the vines. Leave space, and make sure you use lavender in your shadows. And then I added a whole bunch of splatter because it was looking too austere. And I then used the same lavenders and the burnt siennas. So this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh, we're so glad you can come. And yeah, the lavender is like a miracle color.
Yeah, it's great. And mixing it with cobalt just was perfect. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Deborah. Thanks for joining us. Loretta, then Barbara. Hi, Loretta.
Hi.
So you have vibrant colors. That is so much fun.
I don't have that lavender. I've been like 3 times to two of the art stores that carry Daniel Smith, but they never have it.
So you may have to order it.
Yeah, probably. Well, they have a spot for it on their rack, but every time they have a class at the Watercolor Society here in Houston, they go and wipe everything out.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Well, you made some beautiful violets in there.
Well, thank you.
Blues and
Yeah,
violets.
and I don't have green on there, and so I was having to mix my greens too.
You and beautiful greens. Good job with those vines up there and in your flowers. The thing about purple and yellow, those are complements, and makes a nice triad, and it just really sings. It's gorgeous.
Oh, I was using ultramarine blue and violet purple or something like that to mix them.
Love it. It's very dramatic and sunny.
Yeah, this is my first time coming in. I've been watching your videos on YouTube.
Oh, I'm glad you could come today.
Yeah, I got the email from you yesterday and I went, so I had to rework my work to get in here to do this today.
Thank you for making an effort to come. I think it's great to have you be here because it's one thing to watch the video, but there's something about painting together and the energy that's shared.
Right, yeah.
So thank you, Greta.
I've missed everything because of COVID, and it's just now starting to get back up where they have open classes and everything. And so it's been fun to get back starting.
Isn't it? I know.
Yeah, to go with a class, you know.
To be around people.
Yeah.
Even when we're online together. So
yeah, this is kind of crazy.
I know it was sort of fast and a lot, but you did it. You kept up and you did a beautiful painting.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having this.
Oh, sure. It kind of gives you an idea what it's like to go out and paint.
Yeah.
Little taste.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. I love Texas. Here comes Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Good to see you. Let's see. Hold it.
Just unmute myself.
Here we go.
There you go.
Oh, fabulous.
The main thing, I mean, this is like my 4th class since May with you, and I love everyone. I couldn't believe that I could enjoy it continuously like it is. You're a fabulous teacher, and I've taken one of the watercolor basics online and just can't wait to do more. But I'm learning, it's taking me a little time to get the consistency consistent and to be patient enough. I actually bought that little dryer that you recommended in one class to wait, be a little patient, move on and let things dry. But it just really is just so relaxing and everything like that. And I appreciate the fact that you did this class today. And I'm sorry if I scoot out soon. I'm watching the monitor of my 20-month-old granddaughter, and she was kind enough to nap until 4 o'clock. So Eastern time. So I'm in good shape. But thank you so much. It was wonderful.
Thank you for being here. And I look at you and your painting and you just radiate joy.
It feels that way. Thank you so much. And for all that you do for the craft. It's really appreciated.
I love sharing it. Thank you, Barbara and Becky, then Judy. Hey, we've got a lot of shares. This is great. Hi, Becky.
That's pretty.
Oh, your shirt goes with your painting.
Yeah, it's kind of blending in, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely. Those shadows.
Thank you.
Great shadows.
Absolutely. And your green. I love it's gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful.
This was fun.
What's your takeaway today?
My takeaway is to remember that you don't have to draw straight lines. As I've always been more of a realist painter, and so I'm trying to loosen up. I've kind of developed a little bit of a tremor in my hand as I'm aging, and I cannot draw those precise lines anymore. And so it's really fun to loosen up and let yourself go with the pen and ink and just make the little crazy lines, and you end up with a beautiful piece of art afterwards.
Oh, I'm so sorry you have the tremor a little in your hand, but this does open you up to a whole new world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let go of the perfect and just play with it.
Yes, thank you for that.
Thank you, Becky. Okay, here comes Judy and Sandy. And oh, I'm loving these. It's like opening a present with every one of you. Wow. Oh, I love your style. That's beautiful, Judy.
Thank you. I really, I think that the big takeaway for me is, boy, this is so much fun. This is crazy fun. And also, I think I just love the paint. I actually am using a palette that I haven't used in, I don't know, 6 or 8 months. And it's just, the colors are so freaking beautiful and just made it fun. Thank you.
Oh, sure. You painted beautifully. I love your blue, purple, I don't know, on the door, and then it's on the ground in front of it. And
challenge, yeah.
Not the lavender. It's just welcoming. It's telling me to go to the door.
Yeah.
Love that. I love your street in there. I may have to add a little detail. That is really inspiring. Thank you, Judy.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you so much for your time and for your example.
Oh, sure. Thanks, Judy. Okay, now we have Sandy, then Carmela. Hi, Sandy. Thanks for waiting.
Oh, thank you. Great class. This is my first time with you. I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad. That's why I do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just see what it's like to paint with me and paint with everybody else. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. And I've been a pencil person. I do everything in pencil, and it was really freeing to draw first in ink. And I was like, no, I'm going to make a mistake, but it worked out. And also, instead of using Payne's gray for the shadows, use a darker color of the color you're using. That's a great tip.
That is huge that you got that. Payne's gray is just such a non-color, and
Yeah.
shadows can be so exciting using the colors that are around you. So I'm really glad you got that in this.
Yeah.
And you enjoyed drawing with a pen.
Yeah, that's
You don't have to do everything with a pen, but it frees you up.
Yeah.
Especially in your journals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you so much.
All right, Carmela, then Robin. No, Sandy.
Here,
Stella.
how about that?
Hi, yes, we can see it. It's great to see you.
You know, I'm not finished it yet, but you know, Cindy, this was the first time, I guess this is my third class with you, but it's the first time where I've got the paint to flow.
Yes.
It was, you know, it's like a switch flipped somewhere.
Oh, I'm so glad, because it takes a while to get that to just happen.
Yes. And I got the brush that you recommended, and it's a big difference.
Doesn't
That
it?
brush is fabulous. Yes.
Oh,
Yes. So I'm going to work away some more on it.
well, you share it when you're finished. Okay, I'd love to
Yes.
see it when you're done.
Okay, I'll send you an email.
Okay, thank you, Carmela. All right.
Thank you,
Robin
Cindy.
And Gail. And you just keep coming. Hi, Robin.
Hi.
Hi.
I have been a Cindy. Cindy, when did you start your first quick sketch?
Oh,
2018?
4 or 5 years ago.
It was at least 2018, maybe 19. I feel privileged to have been in the first class. These paintings on my wall are all Cindy Briggs paintings. And I am just a Cindy Briggs fan from way back. And watching your students, even the first timers, I can't believe what they're turning out just by watching you one time. I'm amazed at some of the things. So as you were calling on them, I go, oh yeah, I need to add those lines. And I'd look at somebody else. I kept learning from every student who showed her painting. That was fun. It was a lot of fun. As always.
Thank you for sticking with me for so long.
Oh yeah, forever. Yeah, I'm going. I've done the Tuscany, Oceans, water, whatever it was, and I'm all about watercolor. I mean, I'm a big Cindy fan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Robin. And your painting's wonderful. I like you've got, and maybe, yeah, the different colors on your walls and your shadows, your blues, you've got dimension in there. That was a fun one. We haven't done this one, you know? I just keep changing it.
I did one with you on that other course, and I really do I like the shadows, and I may go back and fiddle with these a little bit because some of the other students had beautiful shadows. Just they look like shadows. They're great. So I'm really impressed.
Wait a day and then decide.
Yeah, there go. Okay, I will. Thanks.
Thanks, Robin.
Thank you. Thank you always.
Here comes Gail, and then Anne. Wonderful, Gail.
I wanted to tell you that I picked up painting during COVID, but then I got, I think you know painter's block. I think you've heard of that.
Oh yeah, I got it.
And I haven't picked up a brush since last summer, and a friend sent me this today that you were doing. And I've never scribbled before. Pick up a pen. It was so much fun.
Oh, good.
I also have a left-hand tremor, and so I love lines that aren't straight, and it was so much fun picking up a pen. I have several of them, but I never knew how to use a pen with watercolor. And the other thing I want to say is you're a phenomenal teacher. I've watched 1 million painting videos, and after it's all over, my paints are all out and my brushes in water, and I haven't done a thing. Just watch. You just bring people in, and you've got a real gift, and I thank you.
Oh, thank you, Gail. You're radiating joy too. I think you broke through the block.
Yeah.
You're going to keep
it. Here I go.
There you go. It's a fun way to spend your time. Thank you, Gail.
Thank you.
Anne, and then Carolyn. Hi, Anne. Oh, wonderful. That's
I had kind of a surprise. My ink is a brown ink, but it's not, what do you call it? Insoluble. It dissolves in water. So that made some interesting effects.
I love it. Yeah, I really love working with a non-permanent pen. It's a surprise, but you managed it really well.
It was fun. I love your style. This is just, you're so liberating. You could just, jump in and go for it. So really, really, I'm with everybody else. We all just love you and appreciate what you do for us, what you give us.
I'm grateful I get to do it. It's rewarding, and I appreciate hearing that from you, because I want you to feel like, oh yes, I can do this. I can paint anything I'm drawn to, and let's go frame it. It's beautiful.
I'm
It
very
is.
happy.
It's
Thank you.
filled with love and joy. Thank you, Anne.
Thanks.
All right, Carolyn, then Sharon. And I think we're getting towards the end. Oh my goodness, Carolyn, hi. Can you hold it closer to the camera?
Let me turn this light off.
There. There. Ideal. Beautiful color.
This is not only my first time painting with you, but this is the first time I've ever painted with anybody.
Gosh.
Everybody give her a round of applause, because that is fabulous.
I had a total shoulder replacement this year, and I found that watercolor was something I could do from the elbow down. And so this is actually only a few months that I've been dabbing in watercolor.
Oh, it's stunning. It's stunning. And you know what? You don't have any mud. And that's what I try to get you going on your painting, so you don't make mud and it's not thick. Everything you've done is beautiful and transparent. And I'm sorry we couldn't hear you. For some reason I lost.
It's more like a fire bush.
Oh, let me see your brush. I couldn't, for some reason we were losing you on the sound.
What do you want to say?
It's a little better. You're just a little muffled. So sometimes that happens,
Is it better?
That's better. What did you do?
I had your paper that I printed on the computer.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what's going on?
I said, I think my lavender bush looks like a fire bush.
Oh, I know. I started out with that bush, and boy, it was a hard part. But just keep at it. And by the way, your nails look great.
Thank you.
We know how much effort that takes. Those look great. And so welcome to Watercolors.
Thank you.
Watch some of I have a bunch of videos on YouTube, and I have some classes, and I hope we get to paint together again. But there's always somebody nearby in your area that you could paint with too.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carolyn. Okay, Sharon, then Paula. And oh, Sharon, great to see you. Look at your lavender bush is way better than mine. It's fabulous. And your light and shadow, what's your takeaway?
I just went for it today, and I've got all wobbly lines, and my window's crooked and my door's a little crooked, but I love it because that's how France is, right? Everything's crooked.
Yep.
France.
And quick sketch, our art is not meant to be perfect. It's just you're expressing yourself.
Right. So it was a really fun class. Loved it.
Thank you. It was fun to lead, and it's even more fun to see everybody's paintings. So thanks for coming back. It's good to see you again.
Me too. Thanks, Cindy.
And there's Gina, and finally Joni. I'm sorry you got booted towards the end. There's Gina. Gina. Great color on you.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, it's stunning. Let's see right
I'm
there.
I'm by a window, so there's too much light.
Sometimes the light gets strong. I love all the colors in your windows and your lavender plant, your door colors and your wall and your green. It's gorgeous. What's your takeaway today?
Well, I'm looking at everybody's and I'm noticing certain things that I need to go back and do, and And some of it is the shadowing in certain areas, like I didn't put any shadow below the pots or the lavender plant, and that needs to happen. So just things like that. And then the shutters, that needs to have more definition, I believe. But this was, okay, so I've taken several classes from you too. This time, usually I start with a pencil and I thought, nah, I'm going with the pen. And I just kind of went for it. And it is kind of freeing. And you don't have to do it perfect. The lines don't have to be straight. And I felt good about that. So I loved it. It was fun.
Oh, thank you, Gina. Yes, the pen will set you free.
Yeah, for sure.
It does, especially for studies. You know, if you sit down and think about, overthink it, you can get in your way, but if you just go for it, you create something beautiful.
Right.
Absolutely stunning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, here's Joni. Hi, Joni.
Hi. Okay, I wasn't expecting it that fast.
Wow. Oh, you changed the window.
I did. I didn't think I could fit it in there. And so I just said, okay, maybe I'll just make a stained glass and try to do that.
I
So
like it. The fleur-de-lis.
it has angle problems, but you know, whatever. I'm just
We
kind of
don't care. We love
I
it.
feel it.
And
Shadow shape.
yeah, your shadows are so good on that door.
thank you. Yeah, and I probably need to, I wanted to try to work harder on being bold with the shadows. So I was pretty bold. I probably go back to a darker version of the wall color instead of the blue, but you know, just exploring, trying things.
The shadow works, it just needs a little warmth in there. So even peach,
Okay.
just a little bit up there, and then you've got it.
I want to share one more thing with everybody to try and brighten up your day.
Oh, good.
I'm in Utah, and look at this. This is the first hibiscus of the season from my garden.
Oh, it looks
Wow. This
Oh,
is as big as my head.
Look at that.
Can you believe that? This is a dinner plate.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I enjoy that. It's amazing.
It looks like a painting.
It does.
Something to paint. And I loved your pictures from the islands that you.
Good. Maybe we can paint them in watercolors by the sea. That would be awesome.
That would be a good one. Okay, we'll do
Thanks
that.
so much for spending time with us.
Thank you, Joni. Good luck with all your homework. I know you're always.
I know I'm in trouble now, but I gotta get back to work tonight.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Good to see you. Barbara, I have a Barbara and a Paula. All right, Barbara, didn't we have you up already? Okay, Paula, maybe we had Paula already too. Paula's not there.
I can't get my hand up there. I don't know, my hand's not coming up.
Okay, I'll put it back on me. Thank you everyone for sharing your amazing paintings. I know it always goes longer. I try to get the painting done within an hour and a half. But sometimes, you know, sharing, I think you learn by seeing all the other beautiful paintings that are done in the group. And once again, it's like a shared energy. So, oh, April.
Hi. I haven't shared either.
Oh, okay. There we go. Hi, April.
Hello.
Excited to see your painting.
Thank you. It's been so long since I've gotten to paint, it feels like, and I just really appreciated it today. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. You know, you just deserve today that you get to paint again.
Oh,
yeah. Your colors are magical. It almost looks storybook. Like it would be a wonderful series of illustrations that you would do.
Oh, thank you.
What's your takeaway today?
Wonderful time. You know, just to remember how much I just enjoy it and how relaxing it is and just freeing to sit down and paint. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Have a wonderful rest of your summer, and I hope you get to keep painting. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, Paula. Paula. Oh, let's unmute. Oh, I can tell it's already beautiful. Your color. There we go.
Can you see it?
Yes, it looks fabulous.
Well, my lavendery looks like Tina Turner's hair, but and I tried to erase them from the middle. I do have those sponges, so I will pull those out and work on that a little bit. But I had to force myself to freehand draw this, especially with the pen. And I'm thrilled that I did. It was much easier than I had thought it was going to be. So
yeah, it's you have a breakthrough, I think. When
yes. And I haven't been able to paint for quite a while. And so today I thought, oh boy, we'll see how this goes. And I was really amazed that I was able to keep up, because in the past when I've done some videos, I can't keep up with how they're painting, but your pace was perfect today. So thank you. And my takeaway, besides using the pen and making myself draw it, was painting the flowers before adding the greenery. And I really like that effect. That worked out very well.
So that's an important thing to learn.
Yes.
You can't put them on after, or they're dull. And
right.
Got that.
So thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. This is my second class with you, and I really enjoyed it. I like this type of subject matter, so it was a lot of fun.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's interesting because I've taught both drawing, tighter paintings and then the quick sketch from France. And I'm finding people are really liking the quick sketch. I think because it's opening you up to drawing and painting,
And you can do so much, in a quick period of time. It's just very satisfying to know that, oh yeah, I might go back and tweak a little bit, but basically you're done. So it felt good.
And
Thank
then
you.
You can go shopping or.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paula. Angela, I see you've got your hand up. Did you want to share? Hi, Angela.
Hey.
Yay, wonderful. Isn't that?
I like the best bit of mine is the geraniums.
That's fabulous. Well, I like the geraniums. I like your vine and your lavender.
Thank you.
Shadows. You've got a lot working in there. What's your?
I hate drawing though, so I'm not confident drawing, but I love painting. The painting I can do, the drawing is a big struggle for me. So I would not do the pen. No way, no. So I just did pencil, but next time I'll try the pen.
Okay. Yeah, there's a Monument Valley and a Hollyhocks in my YouTube. Try those.
Okay.
And who cares if it turns out? Just go for it.
Thank you.
Back and forth. Sometimes I'm like, no, I feel like a pen. And sometimes I'm like, no, I can handle the pen. I need the pencil. So you just do what you feel like it.
It's building your confidence, I think, and practice, isn't it? So
absolutely. And where are you?
Manchester in England.
Oh, that's so exciting. You probably like this outside your door.
I've been to France many times. My husband and I met in France, so it's a special one.
Oh, absolutely. We've got a drip coming down. See.
Oh yes.
I'll get that one. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Good to have you. Let's see. Lisa, I keep getting a few more coming up, so that's great. Lisa. Oh, I love your vines.
Oh, thank you.
Shadows. Everything. This is beautiful. everything about it. What's your takeaway today?
Well, this is my first time with you and I'm impressed, so impressed, Cindy. Thank you very much. You're a great teacher and my takeaway was freeing with using the pen.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad that you enjoyed that.
Oh, I'm
I
touched.
think your lavender bush is my favorite I've seen so far. It looks like a real lavender bush. It really is great.
Layers.
Layers. I know it turned out great. You have a wonderful skill with your managing of the paint. You've got wonderful light, medium, and darks throughout.
Wow.
And
I've only done this for 6 months.
well, I think you're natural. Just keep
Thank
going.
you. Thank you.
So much for being here, Lisa. You're getting, some people are clapping for you.
Hey.
All right, Rusty. Rusty. Hey, Rusty.
Hey, can you see me?
Yes, you rocked it.
Okay.
Look at that.
I can't see the whole thing. I can just see a little tiny thing up the corner, but you can see it.
Yeah, we can see
Okay.
it all. It looks fabulous.
So I got a little bit of cobblestone in there.
I see, that makes me want to do that. And your glass and your,
I did a brown door.
you did. You went your own way, which you like to do.
Well, you don't know me very long. You picked that up.
I picked that up already. Johnny's in one, or not, I mean, Rusty's in one of my
Quick sketch.
Quick Sketch. You're in Quick Sketch and you just have taken off in there. It's fun to see your posts.
Right. Thank you.
So did you learn anything new in this one?
Yes, on top of using creative license with glass and adding colors, I picked up, I've always struggled ever since like high school, like how do you get steps to look like steps?
Oh,
So then I saw that you had the little angles coming out, and so I worked on that a bit. So I looked like I do have steps there, don't I?
You absolutely,
They look like steps.
yeah.
Very nice.
Rusty, I was gonna say your foreground is bigger and it makes you want to walk up those steps. You did a great job if you don't do steps.
Right, that's my first time feeling like I actually did steps. So you can tell I've kind of focused in on it there while I was
Nice.
waiting for Cindy to see.
You'll have to do a
kinda-
class on it.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I'm
actually
working
have a whole class on steps in one of my programs.
things, right? So yeah, I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Rusty. I like that little bit of light that you have in front of the steps too. It leads me to the steps.
Yeah.
Right. Can
Right
you see the
below-
color in the window, in the door?
I see light up there and
Yeah.
below, hold it up a little higher so people can see down below the steps. Keep going. There's some light right there. And it leads you in. So fabulous.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Rusty. Okay, here's Lisa and Jerry. Oh, Lisa. Did I have you up here already? Yeah, I did. Okay, I've got a few hands that were still up. So, Jerry.
Hey.
Sorry about that. Hi, Jerry.
Hi.
Great to see you.
You too, yeah.
Jerry's been on some trips with us. You're pretty far away. Can you get closer?
Let me get.
It's great to see you again.
I have you on my big screen. This one.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Oh, I love your vines.
Yeah.
Jerry, you went to Italy
Yep, Tuscany and Spain.
and Spain. Yes, you've been on location with us. Did this feel a little similar to?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
That's good. That's good. What's your takeaway today?
Oh, I just got back to doing it again. That's all.
I know.
Been a
you're
while.
super busy with your job and everything.
Oh, I'm retired.
You are? Congratulations. Love your colors. I think the vines in this are one of the best of all of them that I've seen. It's gorgeous. Great to see you, Jerry.
You too. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Bye.
Okay, I'm back. I think we better call it done. I took pictures. I got to talk to a lot of you. If you have any questions, you can always email me at cindybriggsart@gmail.com. And then my website is cindybriggs.com. And I try to keep that updated with my workshops. And then watch for my newsletter. I will be sending out the link to this video, hopefully tomorrow, Thursday at the latest. So thanks, everyone. Voila, bonjour. Merci beaucoup. That's about all I know. And just
Abiento.
yeah, there we go.
Abiento.
Heather has learned more French than I have taking French classes.
Thank you again,
Merci
Cindy.
beaucoup.
Merci. Thank you, Heather, for just making everything go smoothly and answering the questions. And I look forward to seeing you all again sometime.
Thanks, Cindy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Many thanks.
Let's see.
It's just merci beaucoup, huh?
There we go. I'll bring this up at the end, spotlight. So you can see my finished painting. And
yeah,
voila. I may sign it with a couple little things, but like I said, wait before you do any more to it because it usually looks better than you think it does at the time. When you come back to it, it always looks better. So take care and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.